because ever since we started BlizzCon, we've been doing almost all of our announcements there. So this feels a little more old school for me, which I think is really appropriate considering what I brought you guys here to see today. So I want to talk real quick about just some of our history and how Blizzard has grown over time. So these are some of the different games that we've worked on over the last 10 plus years, and below that is the amount of developers it took to make each of those games. The World of Warcraft one's a little deceptive because that's what we launched the game with, and I think now the World of Warcraft team has 135 developers. So, I think we've really made our reputation as kind of this almost the game industry version of the summer blockbuster company where we just make bigger and bigger and bigger games. But it's something that we feel like there's a lot of games we haven't had an opportunity to make because we're always kind of shooting for these super huge epic games. So we wanted to do something a little bit different just within the studio, and we created a new team. And we have really clever names for our teams. We call them Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4. And each of those game teams, have been attached to either, StarCraft 2 or Diablo 3 or World of Warcraft. And we wanted to make a new team. So I'm sure you guys can guess what we called the team. Team 5. So Team 5 is very, very different than the 4 previous dev teams that we've created at Blizzard. It's only 15 developers, which is smaller even than that StarCraft number, which I showed you guys. And we really wanted an old school team of, scrappy and versatile developers that, were very multi-talented and could do different disciplines. And we wanted to have a team that could experiment more, doesn't necessarily have to rely on, building brand new technology, and really try to just come up with a different style of games. So then the question was, if we had a team like this of 15 developers, what is the game that we would make? And we had to really think about that a lot because we want to make a game that was really small, a little bit different than we've done in the past, and not something that we'd have to spend 5+ years developing. So so what I'm going to show you guys here is the introduction movie for the next game that we're releasing.
It is said that wars are only won upon the anvil of honor.
Others believe victory requires strategy and a mastery of power.
War is deception. A game played best from the shadows.
Only strength and raw power can assure total dominance.
But of course, you could forget all that and just have fun! Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
So Hearthstone, that is, and we're setting it in the Warcraft universe, and obviously what it is a strategy game based on, it's a collectible card game, and you'll be able to play as World of Warcraft classes, and it's our first free-to-play game, which has been something we wanted to really experiment with a while. We've seen how the industry has really changed, and there's lots more free-to-play games, and we thought, here's this great opportunity to really do something a little bit different for us and make a game that has been really fun internally to play. So I guess the first question that a lot of people ask, especially when we first tell people internally what we're working on, is why a collectible card game? And the reason is that I think a lot of people at Blizzard have really played collectible card games for a really long time. A lot of us, like I remember playing Magic the Gathering when I first started at Blizzard, and there was a huge crew of people that will always be playing it, and there's been so many card games since then. But really, I don't think there's been a lot of great translations to make digital or online card games. And that's something that Blizzard's always, I think, done really well, is look at something that is already a really fun game, but maybe it's a little bit hardcore, and how do we make it much more accessible and make it something that anyone would play, not just us hardcore CCG nerds. So the approach that we had was really, again, kind of the typical way that Blizzard approaches problems is we look at what's really awesome about the genre, what's really awesome about